let's just start with a simple, hard truth. Life is relentless. It really doesn't care if you're ready or not. So what we're gonna break down here is how to forge the mental strength you need, not just to survive all that pressure, but to actually turn it into your biggest advantage. I mean, think about it. Every single morning, before you've even had a sip of coffee, the world is already there. It's waiting. And it's not just some passive backdrop, right? It's an active force, and it's got a whole list of demands, deadlines, and expectations ready for you.
And what's at the heart of all those demands? Pressure. It's this constant invisible weight, you know? It comes from deadlines that just won't budge, expectations from everyone around you, and maybe the toughest ones from yourself, and just the day in, day out grind of it all.
And it's not just about pressure, is it? Life is also pretty good at dishing out disappointments and rejections. It tests everyone, no exceptions, which really brings us to the one question that truly matters. Is your mind actually ready for that reality? Because if it isn't trained, if it isn't strengthened, those pressures will bend you. And, eventually they can absolutely break you. This isn't a question of if the test is coming. It's about how you're going to meet it when it does. So let's really dig into this idea of relentless pressure. Because look, nobody gets a free pass, but we've all seen how some people handle it completely differently than others. And understanding that difference, well, that's the first big step. This right here, this lays out the two paths perfectly. On one side, you have the people who crumble. They fold at the very first sign of rejection. They just can't seem to recover. On the other side, you have those who endure. These are the ones who can walk right through a storm and use all that pressure as fuel. The key here? It's not that life was any easier for them. The one and only variable that truly separates them is the condition of their mind. It's not about talent, it's not about your background, it's not even about luck. When it all comes down to it, the thing that makes the difference is mental fortitude, period. So that brings us right to the solution. How do you develop an unbreakable mind? If the condition of your mind is the key, then our number one job has to be conditioning it, toughening it up on purpose. But what does that even mean? Let's be really, really clear about this. Toughening your mind has nothing to do with becoming cold or emotionless. It's not about ignoring pain. It's about resilience. It's that ability to bend under all that weight without snapping in half. Think of it like a flexible strength. This quote, this just gets right to the heart of it all. We can spend our whole lives wishing the world would just go easy on us, but you know what? It won't. The challenges are always going to be there. The only thing we actually have control over is ourselves. We can choose to get stronger. So where does this strength even come from? Well, it starts with the first practical tool, discipline. I know, it's not a flashy word, but it is the absolute bedrock of an unbreakable mind. See, mental toughness isn't born in some huge, heroic moment. Not at all. It's built in the small, ordinary, everyday choices. Every single time you choose discipline, it's like you're laying another brick. And you do that day after day, and pretty soon, you've built a wall that can handle just about any storm. So how do you actually do it? Well, here are 3 simple things. First, honor your small commitments. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Second, resist taking the easy way out. And third, govern yourself. Because if you can control your own impulses, outside forces will have a much harder time breaking you. Think about it like this. Discipline is literally the bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be. And you have to build that bridge every single day, long before you need to cross it in a storm. Because when the pressure hits, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. All right, on to the second tool. And this one's a little counterintuitive. Most of us, we run from pain. But if you really want to be mentally tough, you have to completely reframe it. You have to start seeing it as your greatest teacher. Pain isn't something you should avoid at all costs. It's an instructor. It's basically life's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, pay attention. You need to grow here. This part of you needs to get stronger. If you actually listen, it'll forge the most resilient parts of who you are. So whenever you get knocked down, you're faced with this choice. You can let the pain break you, replay the failure over and over, blame other people, and retreat. Or you can let it teach you. You can use it as fuel, find the lesson hidden inside, and actually lean in and get stronger because of it. The event is the same, your response is everything. And this right here, this is the secret that most people miss.
Pain always carries a gift with it. You can read 1,000 books, but some lessons, some strengths, you can only learn them through experience. The resilience you get from overcoming a real struggle, that's yours to keep forever.
Okay, so we've talked about all the work, the discipline, facing the pain. But what's the payoff, right? Why go through all of it? Let's talk about the incredible rewards that come from building this kind of unbreakable mind. And the rewards for doing this work they're profound. I mean, think about real freedom. Not just freedom from fear, but freedom from constantly needing other people's approval. You develop this deep resilience, knowing that no single setback can permanently break you. And that's not arrogance. It's a quiet, earned confidence. This is such a critical distinction. We see talented people fail all the time because they just don't have the mental strength to keep going when things get hard. Toughness is what makes sure you don't just start strong, but you actually finish strong. It's the engine that powers your endurance. And so here we are, right back at the central theme, this unavoidable choice that every single one of us faces. It's a simple, stark reality. Either you toughen your mind on purpose, or you just wait for the world to eventually break it for you. So the question isn't whether the world is going to get any easier. It's not. The only question that matters is, will you get stronger? The choice, as always, is yours.